I've been really proud of how those guys, they prepare all week, and then on game day, I thought we performed well. And playing a lot of guys in there, not only defense but special teams, and they're battling and they're communicating, they're pushing each other. There's good competition, and they're playing a lot of reps and they're playing hard.
At middle linebacker specifically with Sir'Vocea and Wendell, those two guys, I mean, what have you seen in that competition to get snaps and get starts?
Yeah, obviously Sir'Vocea got the nod there to start coming out of camp, had a couple good scrimmages, but Wendell's right there. And they're a little bit different players, skill set wise. They bring a little bit something different to the table, but both are really good football players. And so they're competing every day. It's not a set in stone type thing. I mean, that's a fluid depth chart, and it's earned every day in practice. But on the field, they're doing well. As the Mike linebacker, the quarterback of the defense, they're setting the front, setting blitzes, doing different things. And so both those guys are capable of leading all 11 on the field, and they're capable of getting in position to make plays. So proud of where they are, and they'll continue to compete.
How do you feel about you guys' handling of the up-tempo offense? You guys rotate a lot of guys in. It's a lot of communicating. How do you feel they took on the challenge of dealing with that mid-game?
Yeah, I mean, it starts with preparation. We knew all week, obviously, having played that scheme, Central Florida, that staff prior, we had a good game plan. Good preparation and practice. Credit our scout team and our scout coaches for getting us that look all week, and credit our guys for going, tempo and practice and pushing it to prepare themselves. So when you get in the fire, obviously, as fast as they go, the challenge is being able to keep guys fresh. And so, some guys, are need a break when you would normally give them one. Obviously, you're not able to, so guys have to push and dig deeper. But guys also, when we were able to sub, they're right there on the sideline, helmets strapped and buckled and going in to help each other. And then assessing those reps throughout the game, making sure everybody's capable to go on the field and play fast. So it is certainly a challenge, but I thought we had a good plan. I thought our guys, executed the plan on game day well. And obviously, credit Tennessee's offense for putting us in some of those longer drives where we were tested. But I thought our guys, were resilient and played hard all game.
You have a bunch of older guys in your room. How much do you depend on them to show the younger guys the way of the world?
A lot. When I got here in February, that was kind of the message. You guys kind of show me what you're about, and obviously, having been here since then, and getting up to speed with everything, really impressed with those older guys. I mean, it's a brotherhood among them. They're pushing each other, helping each other grow. Film study, it's impressive to see the details they took off the tape and apply in the game situation. And certainly the young guys are picking up on each and every one of those things, and then they know when it's their time to kind of carry on, they'll be ready to go.
Ryan, you mentioned in the middle, but across the board, could you have guys that in practice could still win jobs at other positions at linebackers that tight across the board?
Absolutely. There's a lot of competition, and first two games rotated pretty heavily throughout there, as you guys have seen, and so it'll never. I say you never really arrive, so you got to come out and compete every day, right? Every day you got to prove it in practice. Practice is everything. You're not going to go out and expect something different on game day if you haven't shown it in practice. So. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are critical days for preparing yourself, and if you don't put that on tape, you don't put that out there on the field in practice that you can do it mentally and physically, nothing's certain as far as playing time. You got to earn it every day.
What are the things that Cam has done to earn the leadership role that he has on this team this year? Just things that you've seen from camp, week to week. Now you guys are 2 games in.
Yeah, Cam Bright, I think since I've been here has matured just in my short time. Introspection, that's how he looks at himself. Obviously, he's a father, taking care of those responsibilities, being mature about the way he carries himself off the field. And then relationships is the biggest thing, I think, as far as garnering, having people listen to you. And so his individual relationship with each guy in the room is impressive. And obviously for the team, too, as they voted for captains. And so, that's where it starts, those relationships. So when he stands up, when he speaks up, that's felt because those guys know he cares about them, and they care about the team and the mission. So he's got to continue to grow there, and he will continue to grow there, but he's stepping up, and it's impressive.
With Sir'Vocea, he played more on the outside last year. When did you realize or think that, okay, he can not only play in the middle but start? Was it looking at film from last year? Was it spring training camp?
He's a special talent, as you talked about. I mean, he could play all 3 spots for us. And throughout camp, just kind of balancing the rest of the guys, that's kind of where he found his fit. He played both Money and Mike throughout camp, and it kind of shuffled out. He ended up with the Mike, but certainly confident he could go and play either outside spot if we needed him there as well. But he's taking the leadership part of it, the quarterback part of it, and being able to line us up and do some things. He provides a speed presence inside, which is nice to have.
How are you seeing that off the field? Is he coming in on off hours, bringing guys in terms of that mental side of it?
Yeah, that was when I first sat down and talked with the linebackers. It was impressive on how much Voss had an impact on all those guys, just relationship wise, and that carries over on the field. They trust him. They look to him for answers, and I think it's because he is a sharp, intelligent football player. His preparation's impressive, and those guys know that he has answers. He knows what he's talking about. When he says something, it means something, and so I think that's it gives him confidence. It gives those guys around him confidence to have him in the middle.
The fourth down play late in the Tennessee game, your two outside linebackers that close down, it almost like they knew the play was coming. But is that something you had practiced and seen? Because they were right there to make that play.
Yeah, and I think just those guys make the play, but it certainly starts up front. Our D-line coming off the ball was impressive all game. The disruption they create, Coach Partridge has those guys going. And so the outside backers, certainly they end up making that play, but it starts up front. That wall is built and set. And outside backers, certainly they came around, executed John first and Chase second to make that play. It's fun, to watch those guys come in there in a short yard situation, goal line with the game on the line and execute. They're having fun playing the greatest game in the world. So certainly impressive, but it's more than just those two guys. That's that whole unit's preparation for situational football and executing when it counted.
We're seeing a number of ACC schools already stumble with these FBS group of five and FCS games. What's your message to you guys about taking every opponent seriously and not letting a win last week kind of go to their head this week?
Absolutely. We've been talking all camp about you have to be able to handle success and adversity, and you kind of take both as bubble gum. You take them for what they're worth and you move on. And we're on a mission, and it goes through Western Michigan. That's the most important game we have at hand. And again, I think our guys aren't looking past. We understand they're a good football team, and we have to come prepared, and we have to come to perform when we get there on Saturday.
Ryan, when he's going right, what separates Sir'Vocea from other players in your mind?
You mean the other linebackers, other players in the country?
Other linebackers, guys on your defense. Like what really stands out about him to you?
I mean, I think it's a lot of things. It's personality. He's an awesome guy. He's got that gregarious personality. He's engaging. He gets guys excited to play. And then you talk about the tangibles. I mean, he can run fast. He can hit. He's strong. He's elusive, but also powerful. So he has those skill sets paired with his personality and his drive. I mean, it's a powerful combination.
There are other coaches position coaches, Coach Powell being one of them, when you've got a tight group of guys together in terms of production, they want somebody to separate. They want somebody to kind of establish themselves. But you seem to have is your philosophy maybe a little bit different? That it's are you looking for somebody that hey, I'm the Mike, 85 snaps a game, or are you sort of comfortable with sort of just hey, if this is where it's going to be all year, that's fine?
No, I'm gonna stoke that competition forever. If someone were to pull that far ahead, the refs would tilt that way. So like I said, I think there is parity to some degree, and that's why it is the way it is. And again, I think it's a good place to be and to have guys that close, that many guys competing. And so I don't know if it's a personal preference. I just think that's an honest evaluation of where we are and what they've earned as far as reps on game day.
What were some of the more teachable moments you felt from the Tennessee game that you guys have looked back on? Like, whether it's the quarterback draws or some of the pop passes over the middle, some things that show like, hey, can't let other teams see this on tape and do this to us again.
Yeah, schematically, the things you mentioned, there's certain things within our scheme we'll always have to correct. And week to week, we're conscious of that. What big plays did we give up? How do we correct those moving forward? But the teachable moments, playing in that big game early in the season is as we get down the stretch later in the road and you're going tooth and nail, whatever game it may be, just the poise to be able to stay in that fight. Obviously, we experienced some adversity right there in the beginning of the game, and credit our guys for believing and sticking in it. I mean, that's an impressive stadium, impressive crowd, tough adversity right off the start, and our guys never gave up, never flinched in my mind, and kept persevering. So I think that's the overall message. We'll always have a few plays that we'll have to clean up and keep moving forward from that capacity, but I think that was the biggest teachable thing.
What concerns you most about Western Michigan's personnel?
So I think Western Michigan has a very good offense. I think they're very efficient. They're a big scan team, so they're going to check the sideline, make sure coordinator or who's telling that quarterback what to do gets them in the exact play to have the best success. And so we have to be poised defensively to make sure we execute and do our job to the best of our ability, because it's going to be that type of precision chess match. They're good up front. They got 2 tailbacks that are good, a thunder and lightning type guy with a smaller, faster guy, a bigger, thicker guy, a quarterback who has some experience, some poise back there, some tight ends that can play. They put a bigger tight end there that used to be an offensive lineman that presents some challenge when he inserts. They got some speed on the perimeter slot that's coming back. That's a very dynamic player with the glance routes they throw. So they have an impressive offense. They're well coached. They have talent, and so we're excited for that challenge.
Good. Coach, thank you.